Coach PJ here. Do you have an idea that you just know is going to take off? That you just know in the marketplace that people want? Are you convinced of that? Well, I speak to entrepreneurs every day, and that is a commonality among entrepreneurs. They have a belief in the product, in the service, in what they can bring to the market, and they believe that they can make money off of it. They believe that there's a desire, that people want it, and people will pay for it. That's great in theory, but what I will tell those entrepreneurs, and what I tell any entrepreneur, is it's so important that you test that hypothesis. The hypothesis needs to be tested. And when I say test the hypothesis, what I mean is actually form a hypothesis around your business. Then determine how you're going to test the hypothesis for truth and learn from that. Let me give you an example. Start your hypothesis with I believe. I believe that if I provide, if I build, if I deliver, if I have a product, and that's what your product is, I believe that serves an audience. So that teachers, that business owners, that moms, that kids, whatever that audience is. So I believe that I can build an app, that there's an app, if there was an app that for teachers provided this value that helped them to learn, help them to understand, help them to track, help them to monitor, help them to communicate, whatever that is, better than they do today or differently than they do today, then they will pay for that. So I believe that moms want a way in which to XYZ. I believe that if there was a product in the marketplace that campers, that different audiences would like this product, and keep it very, very simple. One audience, one target, one product, one version, and get that hypothesis. But the most important part of the hypothesis is the very end, and that is, and they will pay for it, because that's what makes it commercially viable. And how much they'll pay, it doesn't really matter at first. It really matters that you can validate that people will pay for it. Once you determine that people will actually pay for it, then you can fine-tune the value, the offerings, the services, the features with the price, and begin to understand what the market will bear for that particular service or product. If you're an entrepreneur and you do not have your hypothesis, that is where to start. Start with, I believe that if I can provide X to this target, they will pay for it. Once you get that hypothesis, then determine what's the fastest way to prove that hypothesis. Think back to your science class in high school. It used to be the element of you take a hypothesis and then you prove it out and you show that. Same thing in entrepreneurship. How do I validate that people will pay for this? What's the smallest unit? What's the simplest thing I can produce that aligns with that hypothesis, that gives me the evidence that the hypothesis is true? That the audience you're looking at, that the product you're providing, and that the value you're giving is worth someone paying for it. It could be even that someone doesn't pay for it, but someone takes it on contingency, or someone resells it and splits the margin, or that there's an element of commitment, letter of intent. It could be a lot of ways, but that you are getting evidence that folks want this and see value in it enough to pay money, or to put a commitment to making money. So that's my take for today. That's my take on entrepreneurship. If you have an idea, if you have something, build the hypothesis and then find ways to prove it. Find ways to validate it. It will give you a tremendous amount of information about what kind of product you have and how to keep it valuable and how to make it commercially viable. If you liked what I had to say here, put your comments below. And if you have an idea that you'd like me to speak about, something you'd like me to cover, great. If you're interested in learning more about what I do and how I do it, we can get together for coffee. We can grab a Zoom call. Or if this is something you really want to get into and you really want to explore, we can jump right into your business and determine what your idea is and how you bring it to market and what that looks like. Your Business Profit, helping you get the business you deserve. Until next time.